Hello everyone, welcome to Check It Out with Carmella-T. Sophia wanted to say hello today. She has been diagnosed with diabetes, and this is her little sensor. So we have been focusing heavily on her diet and making sure that we give her medicine at the appropriate scheduled times, and she has greatly improved. But she knows I'm talking about her being sick. She was sick, yeah. But now she's much better. And, she's 9 years old, so, and she's a good girl. She's good for her medicine. And even though she's not happy about it. But I wanted to share that with you. For those of you who have dogs, as they age, they get certain things, whether it's the high sugar or sometimes low sugar, so hers is high. And, anyway, so Sophia's sitting with us today. And I wanted to share with you, I got paid for some washcloths that I made, and that was very nice. And the person who did this, she sent me this beautiful thank you card. I wanted to show it to you because it's so pretty. So pretty. And she sent me, and I want to share this with you because this is going to be a part one. She sent me these vintage crocheted pouches that she had tucked away. Now, if you look closely at this, you can see the stain. So it's a stain on that one, and this one's gorgeous. This one's lined, and it's a snap. It's very old. These are, you can't see kind of the rust on there. These are probably older than vintage, I'm gonna tell you. Vintage, you can start counting 10, 12 years from in the past. Antique starts to even come in our lifetime. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to soak them in vinegar and water and at a tepid temperature, and see if I can get this rust stuff out of it, and show you just how beautiful these can be being restored. These are crocheted, and I'm going to take close-up pictures for you. They are crocheted little and they use the little puff design to make the flowers, and just a single and half double crochet all the way through. It's beautiful, and slip stitch up at the top in the back loop, and these are gorgeous, but a lot of work because this is not yarn. These were crocheted with a very thin thread, doily thread. So these took a very long time. It takes a very long time to crochet with that thread. I know because I've done it, and then I ended up putting it down because for me, sometimes the project goes too slow. So it has to be either a very small project for me to work with the doily thread, crochet thread, or I'm going to use regular yarn to fly through. So she also sent me some quilting patches, because I do quilt. I'll show you some of my traditional quilts. I do not do it on a regular basis, but these are also vintage, and somebody was getting ready to do a quilt. And if you look at these designs, these are absolutely timeless. And these are the type of designs, that we love, and we love generation to generation. I mean, you've got the colors, you've got, whoops, Sophia's slipping. There's Sophia. You've got the colors, and if you look at the mix of the patterns, they make, the crazy quilts with all different mixes like that of patterns. Yeah, you like those, Sophie, huh? So these I'm going to also wash out because these are very old. These, I'm not sure what to do with these. They're adorable. So I'm definitely not throwing those out. And I will, so the second part of this, we'll see. It's going to be a little while, but we'll see if we can get the discoloration out of these and see where it takes us. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I let these soak overnight, and some of the stain did come out, and I could see in the water was a little discolored, so it's definitely coming out. So this is day 2 that I'm going to soak them, and I'm going to show you how I've been doing this in a natural way that will not hurt the fibers, because these are very old, and I want to be very careful. So first I just put a little warm water in the basin, and I'm not filling it all the way up. I'm just filling it so when I lay down the pouches, they are just above the water. So the water is soaking in them, but it's not, they're not submerged in the water. So I am using baking soda, and I'm just going to sprinkle. I first sprinkle it on, and then vinegar. I'm using vinegar to mix. Now you're going to watch the reaction of the vinegar. I'm just going to pour it right on here, and you see it kind of bubbles, and just a little more, and that vinegar will end up mixing with the water, but it's a nice cleansing product, and it's natural. So the next thing I do is I use the sponge, part of a sponge, not the scouring pad, but the sponge, and you keep it because you don't want to fray the fibers. So the one thing you do not want to do is something like rubbing the fibers against the fibers, because you're agitating it. So you don't want to do that. What you do want to do is take the sponge and very gently rub the baking soda in, because that's gritty, and that's what's going to be lifting eventually any dirt or stains that are in the fibers. And you want to do the same to each of your products. And after you do that, very gently, just kind of getting that baking soda in the stain, you're going to let it sit. And the other way I do this is just dab. You just dab the areas that you're trying to get clean. So, and that way you're not hurting the fibers, and you are pushing the vinegar and the baking soda into your fibers. So I'm just focusing on this side of the pouches really, and I'm going to let them soak like that. And in about 15 minutes or half an hour, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the same thing. And yesterday there was definitely a difference in the stain coming out of this purse. So hopefully today there'll be a little bit more. And it may take time like that. And so this is day 2 of soaking. Okay, hi. Well, it's a few days later, and these came out beautiful. This one is still drying, but you can see the color. The colors are a little brighter. This one didn't have aged stains on it. It was just not very colorful. So that came out beautiful. This one had the aged stains, and they were right about up here, and they are so slight and minimal that unless you're looking for them, you're not going to see them. So I'm really happy with how this came out, and this is truly vintage. Both of these pieces are. So this one will be going up for sale. I'll put it at grail.com, and the same with this one. And as soon as I find out my address, I'll have it in this video. So anyway, that was vinegar and baking soda, and if that wasn't with just rubbing the soft edge of the sponge, and dabbing it primarily, more than rubbing it, dabbing it. And if that didn't work, hydrogen peroxide. And so the hydrogen peroxide seemed to kick the aged stains out. So those are tough because those just kind of embed themselves in the fabric over time. So those are really hard to get out. So I'm really happy with this. But I wanted to share, and have a beautiful day. If you have any questions on these, please let me know.